You're too tall, I'm too short. It's perfect.
Perfecto.
Perfect. And hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
Welcome to Basement Vaults and Catapults.
I'm your host, Aaron.
And I'm your other host, Trevor.
Hey, he's Trevor.
Hey. Yeah, welcome back to another episode of Basement Vaults and Catapults.
Yeah. Excited to be back in the basement lair, everybody.
We are.
And what are we doing today?
Well, so I was on Steam the other day and I got the pop-up that was like 2025, your Steam replay.
Year in review.
Year in review. And so I was just like, we should talk about, it's almost the end of 2025 at the time of recording this video.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, like what games have we really been playing a lot of and really appreciated and enjoyed for 2025?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we pulled up our year in reviews and we learned stuff about each other. Trevor, he goes hard. He's like, I think your lowest game on that was 15% of your playtime.
Yeah.
And I'm a little more
You're a little
eclectic.
You're a little more adventurous, almost Aquarius-like.
Yeah. So I think my biggest was only like 8% of my playtime or something like that.
Yeah. Your highest played game was about 8%. My highest played game was 30%.
Yeah. So
yeah.
One of us is a very monogamous individual. Yeah. And we won't comment any further than that.
I am quite game magnanimous. No, I wish I was magnanimous. No, I am. I'm very I stick to one game quite frequently. I find games that kind of just capture me, and then I kind of go pretty hard. And I think that's related to my ADHD. I kind of get that hyper focus. I'm game, good, more game number, go up.
Dopamine.
Yeah.
I think I have my stable. I could go back to some of these games, but I'm a spike player. It's like, I like put 14 hours, 15 hours in, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. Yeah. And the next one.
Yeah.
So I guess the two sides of ADHD right there, right?
Yes. Yeah. By our powers combined, we have one total, complete, normal existence. No, we don't.
No.
There's nothing normal about us, and that's the way we like it.
And let's be fair here. What is normal?
What is normal? Yeah, normal is whatever you do, probably for yourself. Yeah. So I am sad to report that I didn't even think this was possible, but my most played game this year was Pal World.
It gets better, everybody. How many people do you play Pal World with, Trevor?
So there's a bit of a story behind this. I went to Fragapalooza, which is Alberta's kind of biggest LAN party gaming event, and they've been doing it annually since 1997.
Back when you needed to bring your own Switch and everything.
Yeah, you had to bring your own computer, tower, and everything.
The Switch, not Nintendo. This would have been like a Switch to hook into the LAN. Yeah,
actually, when they first started doing it, it was back in the day before you would actually have Ethernet connections on your computers, bar the very first like 10 megabit ones. And so a lot of the time people would have to have like token ring adapters or some other kind of network adapter in their computer. But by 1999, which is when I discovered Fragapalooza's existence, although I never went until this year, I had discovered that they had the ability to do crossover cables. So you could actually use crossover cables to link two computers to game together as well in like the IPX LAN, somewhere along that line. I don't remember all the technical sides of it, but I was like, whoa, bunch of nerds getting together, like hundreds of them playing video games. And so Fragapalooza has a bit of a history, even though it's in Edmonton, Alberta. It's actually in Leduc now. It's kind of all in the area.
Greater Edmonton region.
Intel, I can't remember which CPU, but it was I think it was in the late 90s, early 2000s that Intel actually came and did a launch event for one of their CPUs at Fragapalooza.
No way.
So Fragapalooza is actually, it's been very well known. They're a little smaller now. Like I would think there was about 250 of us last time.
That is on the grand scale of things, but
yeah, and they've been over 1,000.
Yeah. So and it's also the history of it, right?
Yeah.
In the 90s, there weren't a lot of major events like this.
No, and yeah, so gaming nerds unite. So I went to Fragapalooza in August. Because I was like, I need to go. I've always wanted to go. Let's go. And so we're playing different games, and Pal World ended up being a game we decided to play. So we had a couple people playing Pal World. We had a StarCraft tournament, but Pal World kind of came up, and so I was playing that with a friend of mine for 2 or 3 days, and kind of off and on between other games. And then when Fragapalooza ended, I was like, I know, I'll set up the server at home. So the guys at Fragapalooza, which were awesome, gave me a copy of the server file so I could just bring it home and load it up. So got home, loaded up Palworld, and ended up playing. My friend and I never got to connect because he's busy, I'm busy. And so I've been playing Palworld. I feel like 30% of my game time this year was Palworld, dude.
That's...
Yeah.
See.
Yeah, I just obsessed on it, and I was like, I gotta grind and unlock all the techs, and the game has come a long way in a few years. They added a lot of tech to it.
Yeah, they just had a major update not too long ago.
They did.
Hearth and Home, or there's something they were calling it.
They did. But Palworld, for me, I would say I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Starfield. So I think that, talking about 2025 game of the year for what I enjoyed, I have to say Starfield.
You have to. You don't have to. You choose to.
So how about you introduce me to your favorite game of the year and why?
Again, my Steam, I bounce. Like I'll really lock into a game for 2-3 days, and then or 2-3 game sessions, and then I've satisfied the itch. I can move on. I have a really bad tendency not to beat games.
Yeah.
Right. There are a few that, of course, I've sat down and I've done it. I've beaten it. But for the most part, I'll grind, I'll do something, and then I'm good. I'm moving on. But the game that I keep coming back to, and it's an older one, and it's not just old in terms of like when it was released, but it's purposely dated in terms of its graphics. And that's because they made sacrifices in one area to really optimize another area. And that's Kenshi. And I've been playing Kenshi for quite some time now, and it consistently year to year ranks in my upper place.
Yeah.
And if you look at my Steam library playlist, it'll be like I won't touch it, and then 1 month it'll be like boom, the most played game ever, and then I won't touch it for a couple months. But what's really cool about Kenshi is it's sort of, a lot of games promise you open world and you can do whatever you want. Kenshi delivers on that. And it does so by making sacrifices in specific areas. Like it is a low fidelity graphic game. But because it's low fidelity, it can keep the entire game world actively rendered and happening. So you can have your adventure party way out in the middle of nowhere and still have your, say, home base party doing stuff, actively engaging in the world. And that ability is so cool. You can do all sorts of really ridiculous things. And one of my favorite YouTubers between Project Zomboid and Kenshi has made a career out of it. So it's really a fun game that I can't stop. Like I go back to it at least 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah, sitting down, we're looking at our Steam replay, and you mentioned that your favorite YouTuber for that game did a limbless playthrough.
Yeah. And they're not alone in this. Like the limbless playthrough is pretty popular. There's another one where you can manually set your starting debt to like negative 999,999 quadrillion. And essentially your character can never earn enough to buy anything. So you're constantly you have to live through theft.
You've got the gambling addict character.
Yeah. You can start off as a slave and you have to break free, and like, what do you do from there? Do you decide to like lead a revolt? Do you just do your own thing? A playthrough that I constantly go back and redo is I'm obsessed with the idea of becoming the legendary blacksmith. So like I'll go through and I'll like train my guy up in blacksmithing and weaponsmithing, and then start selling my swords and things like that. Like it's really interesting in that regard.
It's funny. I used to play Ultima Online back in the mid to late 90s, and I love the idea of being an adventurer. But as you know, and now I prefer playing the mage character or the magician, the sorcerer, right? And that's kind of always been my thing. I've always been kind of into that world of magic. And so I decided, though, that with Ultima Online, the economy was thriving. The game had been out for quite a while when I got on board. So I just decided to become a blacksmith. And people would bring me ingots. And first I started just mining and farming ingots, and then I started becoming a blacksmith. And people would literally bring me like tons of stuff and tons of gold and be like, make me armor. And it was kind of fun to just play a game where you just run a little shop, you're just a blacksmith.
You're just chilling.
Yeah, that was really cool. And I loved in Skyrim the same thing. If you work up your alchemy, you can build like potions of blacksmithing. And then you can put the potions of blacksmithing onto your blacksmith gear and then make potions of alchemy that you put on your gear to make an alchemy set so that you can make better potions of blacksmithing.
Yeah, and
so
then it became this feedback loop.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Go to like 9,999% up.
Yeah. I got to the point where I made like the ultimate Skyrim gear, and this is like hundreds of hours into the game. But the idea of like just blacksmithing, there's something a little bit just therapeutic about it.
Yeah. Creating. It's pretty nice.
So he shows me this Torsolo. Oh my gosh. And because I'm like, no way. A game that lets you start a limbless playthrough, literally load up the video for this YouTuber. And we're like, I'm literally watching this torso crawling through the desert, and I'm going, I can't believe this game exists.
It does.
And that I haven't bought it yet or tried it.
Yeah. And at moment of recording, it is on sale on Steam for like what, $13?
Yeah,
Canadian?
it's 60% off right now.
Yeah. And I think full price is like 25.
It was like 38 Canadian or something.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it's a good deal. I think it's like $13. So Kenshi.
It's almost constantly on sale, by the by. Like,
yeah. So what I wanted to do is we kind of discussed it, and we thought, let's do 2 kind of split episodes. So we'll do one to cover Kenshi.
And one to cover Starfield.
And you've never played Starfield.
I've never even touched it.
Yeah.
It's still strong, but when it was particularly rough in my VTuber days, when I would watch a lot of VTubers, I watched, I think, Amelia Watson play like the first 5 minutes of it, so I'm not totally going in blind, but I don't really know anything beyond you start in a mine shaft.
Yeah. So today we'll be touching on Kenshi. Kenshi was released in 2018.
2018.
Wow.
It's an
oldie but a goodie.
Oldie but a goodie.
You know, time slips by so quickly.
Kenshi 2. Still in development for the last 6 years.
You know what? Kenshi 2, if Kenshi is as good as it appears to be, I'm down. I was reflecting on how quickly time goes by because we're almost at the end of 2025.
It is true.
And I was looking back and I was like, yeah, remember when The Witcher 3 came out? That was like 2015.
Don't say that.
I'm like, that was over a decade ago.
You can't say those things without my back acting up and my knees popping.
And then I'm looking at like RAM prices.
Oh god, that used to be like the cheapest upgrade you could put into your computer and get like a measurable difference.
Yeah, like 4 gigs to 8 gigs was like boom. 8 gigs to 16 gigs, mind blowing. 16 to 32, not really that big of a difference, but man, I built this computer in 2021.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to buy a 5090. And then the 50 series came out and it's fire hazard problems with the connectors. I don't want to spend that much on a graphics card that it's going to burn up on fire. And I thought maybe buy a 5070 Ti or something because they're really quite good. But then I decided, I'm looking, pricing is so bad right now.
And you're running what, a 4090?
3090. Yeah.
3090.
Yeah. So it's good enough. It'll carry me through the next 3 years, probably. It plays every game I want. Although I did upgrade to a 4K monitor, so now I'm experiencing some games barely 60 FPS. It's fine. Honestly, it's fine. I don't need to obsess. I'm not a first-person shooter guy. But going back and playing classic games right now makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the AAA games like the big battlefields and things like that, they're just so graphically demanding that you just feel the pressure to constantly have to buy new hardware and new computers, and now it's just not a good time.
And we don't have to look very far. Sandfall Entertainment's success with Clair Obscura.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The Unreal Engine, which has come to dominate sort of the 3D graphics space, has become so optimized that you can do an amazing looking game pretty easily and not demand 128 gigs of VRAM, right? Where you can do smaller sized projects that are still gorgeous.
Yeah. And you can always just download more RAM, right?
Yeah. You wouldn't download a computer.
Yeah. So anyway, I look at the landscape of computing right now and the new Steam console that they're building.
Oh, the Steam box.
The Steam box, the Steam PC.
Which is, it's a PC.
It's going to have 8 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some games that it doesn't play well.
No.
But
and isn't it creating AMD? Like, isn't it using an AMD?
I believe it's AMD
processor. Yeah.
So then the cool thing is that they're releasing this, like, I guess the bulk average of people on Steam still only have 8 gigs of RAM. So playing a game like Kenshi, which has, like, it can run on a potato.
Literally.
Yeah.
I play on the key end gauge.
I play on the potato.
Look, comrade dog.
It's sometime if I leave it on desk long enough, it turns into vodka. It's a good time.
Good time.
So yeah, Kenshi.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go play some Kenshi.
Yeah.
And we'll come back and talk about it. And
absolutely.
See what it's like. See what it's all about.
Full disclosure, Kenshi is a grind. So we're gonna see if maybe we can do some acceleration stuff to get Trevor into the meat of it, or maybe we'll just do it pure vanilla and like let him get his ass kicked a few times.
What I'll probably do is spend some time tomorrow playing it and just include some of that footage potentially.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's go play some Kenshi and let's come back and talk about
Kenshi time.
Kenshi time.
Fade.
Magical fade. Ooh.
Well,
welcome back.
I'm sorry.
Well, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Because we live in Alberta, it is now getting dark outside.
It does that so fast.
Oh my gosh.
It is 4:00 in the afternoon.
4 p.m. Yeah.
The sun is setting.
The sun is setting. And as the sun sets on playing Kenshi, wow, what a game. What a game. I gotta tell you, I was not prepared for just let your guy get beat down by like 20 bandits.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, this game's got a game style that I really like. I really enjoy, which is, it's like the old school RPG kind of UI, your inventories, your backpacks. Graphics definitely are very simplistic, but my goodness, man, starting out where you're like, oh yeah, you have nothing, maybe 1,000.
Yeah, you had $1,000,
$1,000
I think a club,
and no weapon at all. Or no, we had like a stick thing.
Yeah, like a little stick and
a
pants.
Stick. Yeah, and pants. We had pants, and yeah, man, like getting out there, and so there isn't really like a, hey, there's this story and there's this thing happening in this world and you're going to be the hero. This is more just like, so you exist in this world and you need to figure it out and make it whatever you want it to be. I know a lot of people, a lot of different gamers, some enjoy that kind of a game where it's truly open world, where it's like you have a character. It is not on rails. There is no particular story that you need to follow. Although I'm sure there's going to be like world events.
And to that point, there are some really cool, they call them world states.
Nice.
So each faction has a leader.
Yep.
And if that leader dies, then the world state changes. So for example, if you were to kill the Phoenix Lord, who is the leader of that hyper-religious group we were talking about.
Yeah.
If he dies, then the Shek move into a lot of the territory and take over a lot of the towns.
Nice.
And you start seeing these enemies spawning called Fallen Paladins. And Paladins are, of course, the army. They're the army.
Paladins are always like your top tier warriors.
Yeah. And Fallen Paladins, they're a little rougher. And they're more like bandits in a lot of cases. So it's these world states exist and they do change depending on your actions in the game.
Yeah.
And there are story threads that you can go into and be like, oh, okay, so the Shek are at war with these guys. I think they're the Okarn's followers. Anyway, they're at war with them. So you can side with the Shek or the Okarn and like follow that storyline, if you will.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, I mean, we got to experience a little bit of the game. We kind of got in and
did
some saves coming and some cheesing, you know.
Listen, man, if quick save is an option, it is intended to be used.
Right. What I liked about the game is like building your skills happens just by using them. And there's a lot of RPGs that follow this mechanic. But what I really appreciate about it is if you're going to put on really heavy armor and then run around, your strength builds up over time. And so strength training is a thing. Weight training is a thing. Building up the ability to carry more is a thing. And so, you kind of start as like you are a nothing and a nobody, and you need to build up your skills, build up your strength. we found that like just sitting and picking locks for like, however long we were picking locks for, you see the skill building up, and the chance to pick a lock gets better as we were successfully stealing things through saves coming. There's always that small print, right?
Yeah.
We could see the thievery skill go up. So that's really cool. Now, I don't really know much about what's happening in the world. We visited 2 towns. We visited a rebel base.
The hub?
The hub where we could basically, it's like run by criminals, and we can...
it's the Shinobi gangs, one of the Shinobi gangs headquarters, and they're like the Thieves Guild.
Yeah, because a lot of those were like ninjas.
Yeah.
Ninja. And it was funny because you mentioned Naruto running at one point when you get really good at your sneak skill.
Yeah, when your sneaking athletics get high enough, you do like that Naruto run with your arms behind your back.
Which I got to experience because I got beat to within an inch of my life, and then had one arm just kind of flailing behind me as I ran in the wind.
Yeah, there was that too, yeah.
Man, that was good. So yeah, I mean, as far as we played for about an hour,
give or take,
and so my initial thought on it is, it's what I would want out of an RPG. I enjoy the open world. I enjoy that you're just kind of dumped in. There's no like, go rescue the princess from the tower, or there's a dragon that you saw in Riverfell, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just basically like, figure out the world on your own. The map is pretty big.
The map is huge.
And I discovered very quickly that running through the map, trying to get to the next town,
there's dangerous
bandits patrolling.
Yeah.
And they're just hungry. They want to steal your food. And they just beat you up within an inch of your life. Now, I got to ask, is there a point? So there's like 15, 20 bandits, and they're just gangbusters, right?
Yeah.
So is there a point where I could take out that entire gang?
Oh God, yes. You can get your character to the point where you can wipe out an army of 25, 30 men.
Nice.
And that can look like a few different things. You can get your martial arts to that point. Yeah. You can get. I love using this weapon called the Falling Sun.
Okay.
And it's just essentially this giant curved monstrosity of a weapon.
Okay.
And one swing will take like 6 arms off.
Is it like a blunted? Does it have
it's sharp. It's a sharp weapon.
Like a Nodachi?
Think like a cross between like
a really big katana.
Like a really big, thick katana.
Yeah, I like that.
It's huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, you use that thing and you don't start off strong. You have to get there, right? So your strength has to be, once you're in the 50s, you can, like, you're 50 in the stats that you're trying to use.
Yeah.
You can start considering yourself a danger.
Okay.
But until then, you're taking hits. You're learning how to use your weapons, right?
Yeah. I mean, my biggest stat right now is toughness, which we got up to 22.
Yeah.
Just by getting beat to a pulp. But then we ended up at a spot where I got beat so bad that my stomach was actually getting injured faster than it could heal, and I was stuck in a permanent coma.
Yes.
So it was like, even though the game, I think eventually the character would probably expire.
Because hunger.
You'd hunger.
Hunger is
but
a mechanic.
Probably a couple of hours real time for that to happen.
Yeah. Hunger doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, so I definitely wouldn't make for an interesting stream. But so we reloaded and we're like, okay, we got to be more careful. I need to find some armor to protect my stomach. Because that's what they keep just bludgeoning the stomach, and then I can't. Yeah.
And there's armor sets that change the way you play your game. We didn't really get into a lot of the environmental mechanics because we're in a pretty environmentally safe region.
Yeah, we're at the starting zone.
But there's sandstorms that limit your mobility and your vision, so your weapon effects are less. There's acid rain, which will constantly eat out your character unless you have a big enough hat.
Wow.
To protect you, right?
Oh, man.
All right.
How big is the world? Like, how big is the map?
Well, I mean, you hit map and saw it, but it's pretty big. I would say...
So that was the whole map?
Yeah, that was the whole map.
Okay.
I would argue it's perhaps as big as Skyrim. But of course, because of the low fidelity and things like that, and the fact that you can fast forward your movement. It feels different.
I'm assuming we can hunt and trap animals or hunt and make them beasts of burden?
We can hunt and you can purchase beasts of burden.
Okay.
There's probably an enterprising individual who's put out like a tame wild animal mod.
Okay.
The modding community is very robust in Kenshi.
Nice.
and surprisingly global. Like for every American modding, there's a Korean modding.
Nice.
There's Japanese player bases that mod.
Nice. Well, for a game that came out in 2018, it's got to have pretty good backing. Yeah.
It does. It has very good backing, and the development team is Kenshi is not dead per se. It's still being supported, but it's not getting any new like content or anything like that.
Is Kenshi 2 being made by the same developer?
Yeah, Lo-Fi Studios.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's kind of an ongoing joke in the community. Is like TM soon.
Yeah.
Right. But
Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah. No. Doubtful. I think they're still using their in-house engine. Just
that's cool.
Cleaned up.
As long as they take the physics engine out, because the new graphics cards don't support it anymore.
Yeah. Well, they don't support Havoc.
We're gonna be buying physics cards again.
Oh god,
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
No,
yeah.
No.
So
$600 for 64 gigs of RAM right now.
Oh, I know. It's actually it's getting worse. It's like Canadian, like $1,200 for a 64 gig kit, depending on which kits you're buying for DDR5. Yeah, it's brutal. So how far have you gotten in Kenshi? Like, how much have you built up your characters?
So let's look at my most recent run. I was doing a swordsman run. So I got my katana skill to 75. My strength was at about 89. And I remember that because getting from 1 to 80 is actually pretty quick.
Okay.
Relatively speaking. But 80 to 100 is exponential. Like, to get to 1 to 80, you can do.
Yeah.
And then 80 to 81 is the exact same amount of time it took you to get from 1 to 80.
Oh, boy.
Like, it gets crippling.
But that's probably because once you get above 80, you're just like a force to be reckoned with.
There's at 80, especially in the attack stats, there's not a lot of characters that can even compete with you, right?
Cool. Right on.
So I had my katana up, I had my heavy weapon up because I was using the Rising Sun, or is it the Falling Sun? Either or.
Right.
Either or. I think it's the Falling Sun now that I've said it.
I will find said weapon, and then I will say, "This is the weapon name."
This is the weapon name. Thank you. Insert here.
This is a game I could lose a lot of time on.
You can. And then my goal was I wanted to take out Cat Lon.
Okay.
Now, Cat Lon is a world boss. He is a skeleton. And as you progress through the world, there's like hidden lore, and you find things out like this is now the third empire that's sort of in. And the first empire fell because of their technology.
Okay.
And the second empire fell because of rebellion. Now the third empire is sort of picking up these pieces, which is why like you have so much rusted and everything looks broken.
Yeah.
Right? And Cat Lon is a skeleton general of what is believed to be the second empire.
Okay.
He's gone completely insane. And he lives out in the bottom, like, bottom south.
South left?
Never eat. Southeast of the map.
South right, okay.
Southeast of the map.
Bottom right, yes.
Bottom right of the map. And he is one of the hardest fights.
Yeah.
So I got my character to the point where I could beat him because there are legendary weapons in the game called Edgewalkers or Cross, I think. Anyway, they were made by this legendary blacksmith.
Yeah.
And certain world bosses, certain leaders have these legendary weapons.
Nice.
And he had the Rising Sun, so I wanted it.
Give it to me.
And I managed to kill him, but when you kill him, all of his thralls attack you, and I just wasn't a match for like 75 guys coming at you in one go. So,
well, hey, man, I look forward to giving the game a shot. I think, overall, let's talk about ratings. So like out of 10, right?
Okay, yep.
Graphics and art design, like I'm going to throw it at like a 5.5.
That's more than reasonable.
Honestly, it's passable graphics for what it is. I actually think the character creator is kind of fun. Although you don't really...
We made Gollum.
We did. Yeah. We don't really get a close-up of the character like in much of the gameplay. You can kind of. The camera kind of like maxes out at a certain angle, so you can't really get right in on your character. Probably so you don't clip through the ground with your camera, because it won't let you. The camera, if you clip through the ground, it like spins the camera around.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly.
It's pretty ugly sometimes. But yeah, I think overall the game has good enough graphics to be a game that I could play. But there are a few things about the graphics that it's like, if only it was a little better. So I'm kind of holding out for Kenshi 2, going, maybe the graphics will be at least somewhat markedly improved. Because it's kind of like a mix between, like, it has some okay textures, like the bar sign looks good. The art for the weapons in your inventory looks pretty decent. Everything, but then you get into the world and it's kind of like Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, like Coder 1.
Coder 1 graphics where everything's kind of blocky, and maybe a little better than Coder 1, but like definitely not beyond like Jedi Academy or something, or Jedi Knight.
Well, everything, like, it's not blocks, right? Like everything is kind of sculpted and smooth in that regard, but it's very I'd say PS2 era.
PS2, yeah. It's very low effort graphics, but I can see what you said at the beginning, which is they decided to put their energy and effort into the game itself, not so much into the graphics. And I mean, when you've got a budget for a game, you can either put it towards paying really expensive artists, or being, boycotted by us by using AI.
Yeah.
Or you just say, look, this game isn't about the graphics. It's about the gameplay mechanics, and it's about the intrigue and the world building and the points of interest and the bandits beating the bloody pulp out of you every chance they get.
Until it's your turn.
Yeah, so I think 5.5 graphics is kind of where I would place that.
It's more than fair. That is completely reasonable for that game.
Like, even for a 2018 game, it's pretty lo-fi, which is the name of the studio. Oh! So it kind of makes sense. Actually, it's funny, when we saw lo-fi, I was like lo-fi, like some of that like good audio that you listen to when you're studying.
Yeah, lo-fi beats the study.
Lo-fi beats, or it was like, no, that's lo-fi graphics. All right.
It is.
Audio, I actually wasn't wearing my headphones.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't really hear any of the audio. But I guess stay tuned. I imagine the audio is not great.
It's better than you think. Like, the music is pretty repetitive.
Wilhelm scream?
No Wilhelm screams.
That's too bad.
But like, where it shines is in the battle. Like, when weapons hit, you get that cling,
the clang. Yeah.
When you hit meat, you get that wet thud sound, right?
Nice.
I want you to experience this.
I will.
But when you get to the point where you're actually like a powerhouse and you're killing things, going back to these hungry bandits and just like
slaughtering them,
whipping off like 4 or 5 legs in one swing, and you get that meaty sound like whack, 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 whack. It's cathartic.
Some joy.
It feels so good.
There's some joy. Yeah,
this is for my stomach.
Right? Oh, this is for killing me when I was just learning how to play the game. Yeah, it's funny. I do love games with a little gratuitous violence, especially when it gets to the level of comedic. Like, playing Starfield, the first time I shot a guy and it hit his backpack, and I was on a low gravity planet, and he got launched, like inexplicably launched into like
the old giant glitch in Skyrim.
Oh man, it was like I just laughed for a minute straight. I love seeing that stuff. I love the ragdoll physics. And I'm kind of hoping that I don't end up in any battles in Kenshi where I do lose an arm or a leg. But
prosthetics are a thing in game universe. You can replace those.
It could happen.
In some cases, not the entry level stuff, but like the higher end stuff, they're better than flesh.
Yeah.
When I first understood the weakness of my flesh.
It gets so late in the day, I get so tired. We're going to start pumping oxygen in here like a casino.
Keep people wired.
So gameplay. Obviously, they put a lot of love and attention into the gameplay. The game is rated overwhelmingly positive on Steam, which says something. I really appreciated the gameplay. I like the intricacy of you do have a limited inventory. You can't just like stack a million iron and carry them. The fact that your character is pretty feeble at the beginning and doesn't really have anything to go on. You have to really slowly build your character up. I really love it because it allows you to not only kind of have your own backstory, but kind of create your own story of what is your character's motivation? What do they want to do? I really appreciate that. I know some people do, some people don't, but I would give the gameplay an 8 out of 10.
Hey, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, I like it. I like the goofiness of having like a limped arm just dangling around. Man, like so much appreciation for the humor.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And fun, yeah. I mean, just in the 1 hour of playing it, I did have quite a bit of fun. I would think I'm going to have more fun with it the more I get into the game, but I give it a 8 out of 10.
And we were kind of doing some speedrun strats to get you into a position, but like half of the joy of Kenshi for me is creating your own objective.
Yeah.
Right? Like I want to become a blacksmith.
Yeah.
And now in game, you can only ever get to, I think, Edgewalker.
Yeah.
Because Edgewalker is like the highest rank before legendary.
Okay.
But there are mods out there that allow you to create the same, like almost as good as the legendary blades out there, so you can become like this legendary swordmaster.
Yeah, I like that.
Maybe that's something you want to do. Maybe you want to become a wandering kung fu monk.
Yeah, like I don't even use weapons. I just punch.
You just punch, and you can do that.
Is that how you build up your martial arts? You just go like fisticuffs?
Take your weapons up and start punching.
I like that. See, and that's kind of like fun because it's intuitive in how other games have worked and other mechanics have worked. I got to admit though, on the side of fun, 8 out of 10, definitely. But had I not had you there,
it could be very frustrating
to help introduce me to the game, I would have maybe went like the Dark Souls route with this game and went like, okay, I just got beat up because it's not necessarily intuitive to me that I'm going to fall into a coma and have to wait to recover. I probably would have just reloaded a save and got stuck in an anger loop where I'm like, oh, I just keep getting beat by these bandits. What the heck? And I would have had to, of course, learn to avoid bandits, which means I would have ended up playing the game with 0 toughness the entire game.
No, you would have you would have started getting toughness slowly through, because you would have eventually started fighting with like a sword, right?
Yeah.
And you would have slowly been gaining toughness that way. But Kenshi, at its heart, was meant to be a squad simulator.
Yeah.
So, like, you notice you could hire a guy, right?
Yeah.
So you're supposed to consider that in any combat.
Yeah.
So it's not unusual to run around with like 5 squad members or something like that.
I just want to get a katana and I'll be a Ronin.
Just going to town?
All lonely by myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's the weapon 1, weapon 2 slots. Weapon 2 you use indoors or when your arm has been damaged, so you can't use a two-handed weapon.
Yeah.
There's no good way that I know of to swap between weapon 1 and weapon 2, which is too bad. But it is what it is.
It seemed to be pretty automatic. Like when I was in that one fight outside of the bar with like, it's like, hey, there's a fight going on that I'm not involved in. Yay, fight. And you just jump in and start pummeling. And then my arm got damaged and he switched to the one it'll
weapon. Do that pretty quick. But like if you were say, oh, I want to level up my katana skill, katanas are a weapon 1 slot.
Oh.
So
what if you have no weapon 2?
If you have no weapon 2, it defaults to weapon 1.
Okay, cool.
So that's a way to sort of tease the strat.
Yeah.
But
because I just think when I was watching, the arm got damaged, switched to the one weapon, the lighter weapon. Yeah. And then the arm in the same fight, the arm actually got back
enough
to
heal.
Healed up enough because it jumped from like a 0 to like a 1.
And you're like,
and then the arm's all back to the cleaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. I think the game has a ton of potential. I think that
it's massive.
This lo-fi group that makes the game, I think that they obviously understand what game mechanics make for a good RPG.
Yep.
And somebody give these guys some money. Let's make a slightly graphically more
Kenshi 2.5.
Kenshi 2.5. I just think when you have someone who knows how to make a game so well, the game mechanics so well, that properly funded, they could make some very cool and interesting games. I think the problem is that a lot of these AAA studios put almost all their funding, like Cyberpunk. They put almost all their funding into graphics. That game on launch was 20 hours good, and then the story kind of peters off, and it's like, what happened to this game? Yeah. And you're driving through cities that look pretty, but there's nothing going on. There's no NPCs. Like, there's entire dead zones when this game launched that there's nothing to do.
Yeah, the cops spawn instantly. You're like, what is this?
They just spawn out of nowhere. Yeah, so I mean, like, game mechanics, and don't get me wrong, I like Cyberpunk. I probably will never finish it because I find 22 hours in, it just gets boring.
Mm-hmm.
I just...
Well, we've had this talk. For me, it's a tough sell to tell me that I'm already dead.
Yeah. But Cyberpunk is a game on rails. It's open world, but like, next mission, next mission. And the story is going to always play out the same way the story always plays out. And that gets tiresome for me. Skyrim in the same way, like, there's a main story quest and there's side quests. You can kind of go off and do your own thing and build your own narrative and then get back to the side quest when you want, or the main quest. But I find that having a game like Kenshi where you're completely open, you create your own narrative, and there really is no narrative. At least nothing I've seen so far.
Again, there's like overarching world narratives that you can kind of engage with, but you have to make the choice to engage with.
Yeah.
Right.
So I love it. Kenshi 2 is going to go on my watch list, and Kenshi 1 was on my wish list when we started today, and now it is in my game digestion.
So Trevor is down to 226 games on his wish list.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
So he's cleaned his room a little bit.
So if you want to buy a game off of my wish list, send an email to bfcpcontact@gmail.com, and we'll set it up so you guys can wish list buy games off my wish list for me, because I've spent all my money on microphones and cameras.
It's true. Yeah. It is quite the impressive setup.
Well, yeah, I'd like to have multiple camera setups at some point, but the more you watch, the more you get people to watch. The more content we can make. Yes, and then maybe some short films and other creative things that we'd like to pursue someday. Anyway, thanks for your time, everybody. Yeah, thanks for your time. And we'll catch you in the next one. See you on the next one, where I take on Skyrim, Starfield, Oblivion, Fallout. Yay! No, he's going to be playing Starfield, which is kind of a game that I've sunk a lot of time into since it came out. And my goodness, I want you haven't played it, so I want you to. I'm going in blind, baby. So next episode, you're going to play Starfield. Yep. And I'm going to introduce you into my Bethesda fanboy hell. Can't wait. Bye. Good luck. Have fun. Don't die. Bye. Unless you're playing Kenshi. Well, no, still don't die. Just, get beat up. Just almost die. Almost die. It makes you tougher. What doesn't kill you only makes you tougher. There is a controversial opinion. Well, I don't know how controversial it is, but like a lot of people, the slave start for Kenshi is considered. Kenshi will tell you it's the hardest. But the reality is, it's actually pretty chill. Yeah. Because you're in a safe space. The guards will beat you up. Yeah. But they'll never beat you to the point where you lose a limb, because they're using all blunt weapons, and they'll heal you after they're done beating you up. Right. Oh, I like that. So you can safely train up a lot of your stats, including stealth, lockpicking, things like that. Yeah. Until you can get to the point of breaking out. Yeah. Wow. That's cool. I'm excited to play it, and so I'm going to go do that. Yay! All right. Bye! Bye! For reals.